Uncle of the man who killed 7 in Highland Park shooting says dad was right to help son buy a gun, by Sarah Vallone. As Mama's Uncut previously reported, the father of the man who opened fire at a Highland Park 4th of July parade revealed in an interview with ABC News that he, quote, filled out the consent form to allow my son to go through the process that the Illinois State Police have in place for an individual to obtain a FOID card, end quote. When asked if he regrets his role in his son being able to purchase a firearm following the tragedy that occurred during the 4th of July parade in Highland Park, Bob revealed he did not regret it. Do I regret that? No, not 3 years ago. Signing a consent form to go through the process. That is all it was, Cremo said, telling ABC that he is also not worried about potential legal consequences. Had I purchased guns throughout the years and given them to him in my name, that's a different story. But he went through the whole process himself, end quote. As Bob explained, all of the guns he helped his son buy were with Bobby's money and registered in his name. But Bobby's uncle, Paul Cremo, is defending Bob as well. While talking with CNN, Paul said he, quote, supports him 100%. I think he did the right thing, end quote. Paul also discussed Bob's decision to help Bobby buy a gun just months after threatening to kill his own family. As Mama's Uncut also reported last week, the FOID card that Bob helped his son obtain was reportedly issued in 2019, months after Bobby threatened to kill everyone in his home. As ABC News reports, at the time of that threat, Highland Park police confiscated 16 knives, a dagger, and a sword from Bobby's possession. Bobby was then flagged as a, quote, clear and present danger, end quote. Bob admitted he didn't believe Bobby's threats at the time to be serious, but more of a typical teenage angst. Paul told CNN that he was sure his brother knew about his son being investigated for those 2019 threats. He says, people recover quickly. Maybe he recovered quickly, and he was in his right mind, his right mind frame at that time, Paul added as he dismissed the warning signs his nephew exhibited. However, while Paul supports Bob's role in helping his son obtain various weapons, Paul admits he probably wouldn't have signed the consent form. If it was me, no, I wouldn't. I probably would not have signed it. I think the law's got to tighten up, says the uncle. Paul then continues by saying, if somebody has a life threat, if somebody's suicidal, or if somebody's under depression, the state should see that and not give that person an FOID card. Noting that Bobby passed, quote, 4 background checks before being deemed fit to own a gun. 4. So far, Bobby has been charged with 7 counts of first-degree murder. However, Lake County's state attorney Eric Reinhardt says more charges will be coming. This article was presented July the 11th. Again, this is taken from Mama's Uncut by Sarah Vallone, Vallone. Now, as I was reading that, I was hoping that you were hearing the excuses, the minimalizations, the deflection. The uncle blamed the state. The father didn't feel he did anything wrong, even though this boy, this mentally disturbed boy, had threatened his own family. And when the police were called, they didn't take them away for aggravated assault or anything of that nature. No, no, no. They just took the knives and the sword. Think about that. A sword. A sword. They just took the weapons away. And then not even a year later, he's given a gun? He's given permission to carry a gun? I'm not shocked, and nor should you, because this is what we now know as generational terrorism. These people have been terrorizing those that look like us for centuries. Truly, since they came onto this native land, when you think about it. Domestic and international terrorism is a part of America's DNA. When you think about a Paul Revere, right? Or even a Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, all of the John Adams, all of these people who America looks at and deems in such esteem, but when we think about it, they were committing treason because we were under the Queen's law. And they decided they didn't want to do it anymore. Because what? They were being taxed without being represented. Does that sound familiar? Those ancestors continue to reproduce. Down the line, it didn't switch. When you think about it, the racism, the prejudice, the discrimination, only thing that it did was it changed its form. That Bobby felt that he could make these threats and he would be untouchable. His father is even saying, I didn't do anything wrong, so they're not going to come after me. And let the truth be told, they probably won't. Why do I think that? Look at the behaviors of all the other serial killers, because that's what these boys are. They're serial killers. Okay? They're psychopaths. They're sociopaths. They have mental illnesses. They should be locked up. That should not be justified, them killing innocent people. It shouldn't be. The parents should not get off scot-free. We have minority parents that sometimes when they go to work early in the morning and they're to drop the child off or whatever the case may be, and the child does not end up in school, that they are being held in contempt for truancy. And yet this boy, this white privileged boy, was able to get a gun, even though his behaviors have shown that he is mentally, emotionally, psychologically, developmentally immature. But because he's white, it's right. These are the things we need to talk about. I'm not going to be on here too long. I just want to read the article, give my little something about it, ask you for your opinion, your comments, your suggestions. You know, what is it that you are getting from this tragedy, from this murder, from this onslaught? Because that's what it was. It was an onslaught, right? What are you taking from this? Do you think that, you know, I may be just making it, I'm being overly dramatic? If that be the case, please share. This is a place in our platform where being respectful, that's really the only qualification. We can always agree to disagree, but be respectful about it. So please, you know, comment, like, subscribe, share. Let me know what you're thinking. I've left my handles down below. Feel free to reach out regarding anything, and I'll definitely get back with you as soon as I can. I thank you for you all for your patience. I thank you for your support. And until next time, Ashe.